אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hello.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so nice to be with you on this fine Shabbat morning. Woohoo.
So nice to be with you.
Great. Thank you. It's like no one said anything back to us.
I did it last night.
You did
so
last night.
That's why I stopped.
That was it. The people who were here last night, they were like, oh, we did it enough. It's fine. We can try it again. Let's try it again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, yay. That's so much better. Thank you. That's so nice. Thanks. Thanks. Nice. We are so happy to be with you to celebrate Shabbat on this fine morning. We are happy to be with you in this beautiful weather outside, and of course to celebrate and take part in this moment with Hannah. Woohoo! Yay! Yay! And in the service where we celebrate her becoming a bat mitzvah, so we're so thrilled that you are here at Congregation B'nai Israel. Let's take a moment just to go over our regular stuff here. Make sure your cell phones are off or on silent. It's a good time to check that. If you don't have a mask on, you need a mask. So everyone in the sanctuary needs to be wearing a mask. If you don't have one, then you can go outside and grab one. But everyone in here needs to be wearing a mask at all times, so we appreciate that, over the nose and the mouth. And also, it's a good time to make sure you have a prayer book. So if you don't have a prayer book, this is a good time to check if you have one. They're blue. They say Mishkan Tfilah on them. If you have one that says Torah, that's also good, because we like the Torah, and we'll be getting to that part a little bit later. But to follow along with our service, with the Hebrew and the English and the transliteration, so you're fully present for every part of our service, good time to have a prayer book. So if you don't have one, now's a chance to get one. Again, they are thin and they are blue, and they say Mishkan Tfilah on them, so that you can have one and hang out with us throughout our service for the whole time. We can be on the same page, literally and figuratively. If you're just coming in, make sure you grab a mask. Everyone needs a mask. So please make sure that you grab one, and make sure you're wearing one for us on this fine day. So now that we are welcomed in here and in this great festive Shabbat celebratory mood, we want to start our service, but we can't yet officially do that, Hannah, unless you have your talit, because you can't officially be a bat mitzvah and start the service officially with your talit. So we're going to call your parents up to join us up here to share some words and to present you with your talit on this beautiful Shabbat morning.
On this Shabbat, we rejoice in your coming of age in our tradition, as a symbol of your entrance as a responsible member into the adult Jewish community. It is our honor to present you with this talit. Our tradition teaches us to put tzitzit, fringes on the corner
of our garments in every generation as a reminder to observe all of God's commandments.
Now as a bat mitzvah, a child of the commandments, you are ready to make moral choices. to grow emotionally and intellectually, and to take responsibility for the mitzvot and your decisions.
Be holy unto your God, bring blessing into your world, and may you bring the household of Israel the same pride and joy and nachas that you bring to us.
We love you. And this tallis was brought from Israel. When I took a trip to Israel, it was hand painted in Shabbat. Wait, a little longer. Good luck.
Let us all, Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who makes holy the mitzvot and commandments to wrap ourselves in this fringed garment.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotah, v'tzivanu lehitete batzitzit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
We're just talking about talit from Tzfat. Remember we were just talking about that yesterday?
Last night.
Yeah, last night we were just talking about that, and now you have a talit from Tzfat. That's amazing. Have you been to Tzfat, Hannah? We're going to fix that. We're going to get you to go to Tzfat. It's nice. We should go now. You want to go right now? I kind of want to go to Tzfat right now. This is the surprise, by the way. We have the jet waiting outside. We're all going to Tzfat. Surprise! Shabbat Shalom. We're going to Israel. Not right now. So, okay, we have your talit on, which looks fabulous and gorgeous and from Tzfat, and now you're draped in the mitzvot. So we can continue now our service. If you look at your Siddur, you'll see there are two sets of numbers. There is a number like a black number, and there's a number in brackets. We're going to be following the bracket numbers because Hannah has the master book, and we're going to go by what she's doing because she has a different book than we do. And we want to follow what she's doing. So we're going to follow the bracket numbers, which means that we're going to continue now. Look at the brackets. And we're going to continue on page 192 in the brackets. Don't go to the black page 192. Go to the bracket page 192, which, just to get you oriented, is page 74 on the regular page. So either 74 on the regular page or 192 in the bracket page. I want to confuse you as much as humanly possible this morning. So again, either 74 on the regular page or 192 on the bracket page, just to orient you, and then we're going to go from here on the bracket pages so that we can follow the book that Hannah is using on this fine Shabbat morning. We continue now with Ma Tovu on page 192.
Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ani berov chastecha, ahavo meitecha, eshtacha ve'elecha kodecha, behirat משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, אדוני אהבתי, מהון ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך, משכן כבודך, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, משכנותיך ישראל.
Since it's Shabbat morning, and of course a very festive and wonderful morning, we are going to dip into a special section called Psukei de Zimra, a special section of Psalms. They're uplifting and they're fun and they're festive. We're also going to be sprinkling as much as we can. It was more fun actually last night, easier to do it. It's a little tougher on Shabbat morning, but we're sprinkling a little bit of campness, if you will. That's a word I just made up. Camp spirit, if you will, into our service. Because as you know or do not know, Hannah is a major fan of Camp Coleman. Woohoo, Camp Coleman in the house. Any other Camp Coleman people in the house? Camp Coleman? Camp Coleman? Yes, yes, Camp Coleman. Me too, by the way. I can't wait to go. So, which was excellent. So we're going to be jumping into it's campy. It's a little campy. Would you say it's a little? It's in the vicinity of campiness.
It's upbeat. So
Yeah, it's upbeat. So it's Psalm 150, and it's page 218 in your brackets. 218.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallel hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallel hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallel hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallel hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I had fun.
I think that was fun and upbeat, don't you think? Nod your head if you can see us. Excellent, good, okay, good, very nice. We're going to continue now with Chatzi Kaddish, page 106 on the black pages, 224 in the brackets, 224 in the brackets. 224 in the brackets. Give you a chance to get there. Everyone seemed to get there. All right, here we go. Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגדלה בגדלה, ובזמן קריב ויאמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולמי המאיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה בריחו לעילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen.
Continue now with the Baruch Hu, with our call to worship. That's on page 226. In the brackets, 226. Together we stand.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yitzer or v'choshech oseh shalom uvoreh et hakol. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness. We continue now on pages 232 and 233. 232, 233 in the brackets.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue now on page 234.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meodecha, vechayu hadvarim ha'ela, asher anochi metzavha hayom al levavecha, veshinata levanecha, vedibarta bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, uvleftecha vaderech, ushofbecha uvkumecha, ushatam laot al yadecha, lahayula tatafot beinenecha, uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru vasitem ekol mitzotai, v'yetem kedoshim laloheihem. Ani Adonai Eloheim, asher teyetzem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem lelohim. Ani Adonai Eloheim.
Adonai Elohechem emet. We continue with our song of redemption, Micha Mocha. That's on page 240. 240.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. No ratahilo o seifele, no ratahilo o seifele.
שירה חדשה, שפכו יהודים, לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו.
Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
צאו ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופתחנו מך, יהודה וישראל, גואלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני. Gal Yisrael.
Continue now with the Amidah, page 242, in the brackets, 242, and together we stand.
Adonai sefatav tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagipur v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasavo v'Imaot, Umivi G'nolav Livneihem, Leman Shemo Be'achava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeha Ko Atah Rav Le'Oshia, Mashir Harua U'Murita Gashem, Mechakel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayeha Ko Be'Rachamim Rabim, Somef Nofim Ve'Refeh Cholim, U'Mastir Asurim, Umakaye Amunato, Lishene Arfar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melit Mimi, Tumakaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ben Emanat Al Dechayo Tako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol.
We continue with the Kedusha now on page 248.
נקדש שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, הכתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sevaot, Meloch haaretz, Kevodo.
אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מהדיר שמך בכל הארץ.
Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkamo.
אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו מלכנו ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Le'dor Vador, Hallelujah.
לדור ודור נגיד כל לך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Welcome to those who entered a few minutes ago. Let you know that we're following the pages on the brackets, not on the black side of the pages, but on the bracket side on the pages. So we're on page 248. We're going to continue silently now here from 248 through page 260. So silently from page 248 in the brackets through 260 in the brackets. When you're finished, please be seated.
Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen, amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
We are going to continue now with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for reading the Torah, which can be found in the brackets. I'm going to, by the way, count how many times I'm going to say that with us on the Shabbat morning. In the brackets, 362 is where we're going to continue.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador. Ananai melech, Ananai malach, Ananai imloch le'olam ba'el, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
Please stand.
Ahad rachamim, eitiva v'tzolcha et Zion. Timnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ivecha levad batachnu. Melech el ram benisa, Adon olamim.
346.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim.
366.
Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kidushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad, echad Eloheinu gadol. Gadlul Adonai Tzion Ramema Shemo Yachdav.
Please be seated. In our non-pandemic world, we would have the Torah, we'd pass it around the congregation like we usually would, and everyone would have a chance to kiss the Torah. We would also have a moment up here on the bima where we would take the Torah and pass it from generation to generation to generation. And so I want you to think of this, all of you in our congregation, particularly Hannah and all of your parents and your grandparents, on this beautiful idea that at this moment we pass the Torah to you. It goes from generation to generation to generation, whether the Jewish people were in our homeland and safe, or running from burning buildings and being persecuted. We still held on to the Torah, and we held on to the Torah because it was passed from generation to generation to generation. That's what kept us together. That's what keeps us strong as a people, this connection that we have with our Torah. Now, that being said, on this Shabbat, not just Torah in general, but a Tekel Torah has actually continued to connect you from generation to generation and generation. Now, it's not often that, well, I'll say it the other way. It is quite often that someone shares a story about candlesticks that has been passed down from generation to generation, a Kiddush cup perhaps, a talit, even a mezuzah or other ritual objects. It's rare, by the way, someone says, we have a Torah, we're going to fly it down for you. It's going to have its own seat on the flight. And you are going to be able to chant Hannah from it, like so many others have from in your family. And so, I am honored to have the Torah in our midst, the Tekel Torah. I am honored to have the Tekel Torah in our ark. It has been there all week, and the Torah you'll be chanting from, and it'll be. I don't know, what, five generations of different people who have been able to, 5 different people have been able to chant from this Torah. And so for the official story, though, because I am not the best storyteller of this Torah, we're going to invite Zach up, who's going to just share a couple of words. I gave him somewhere between 35 to 45 minutes to share the story with us. So we're going to hopefully keep him under the 35 to 45 minute mark. Yeah, come right up here and press that button. And then you could talk right into that microphone.
Good. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, so the Torah that Hannah is going to be using today has an interesting history, as it is over 100 years old. In the 1990s, Yvette and Louis Tekel, the great-grandparents of Hannah, Ari, my sister Zoe, and myself, participated in a Hadassah mission to the former Soviet Union. They visited the small town of Kovna, which at that time had very few Jews, but there was a synagogue. An elderly gentleman gave a tour to the members of the mission. When he opened the ark, they discovered that it was empty. Zadie, as Louis was known by his grandchildren and great-grandchildren, asked what had happened to them, and he was informed that for over 70 years they had been buried and later hidden under the ark to protect them. He then asked if he could take one of the scrolls back to the States. Surprisingly, the answer was yes. Following this, he had the mission of rescuing multiple scrolls, including the Torah itself, along with other parchments that had previously been used by the local members to practice and chant during their services. After making it back to the States safely, the Torah was then taken to a scribe on the Lower East Side of New York, where it was examined, repaired, and pronounced once again kosher to be used during Torah readings during services. Since this time, this Torah has been used in all family bar or bat mitzvahs, including my cousins Nate, Marin, my sister Zoe, and myself. We are extremely proud that Hannah is able to continue this tradition today at her bat mitzvah.
isn't there a part of the story, right, that it was illegal to take the Torah out, right, of Russia, and it was dangerous, right? There could have been arrests made if found out. So that's a beautiful, and then of course I like the ending where it ends up in the Lower East Side because everything else does. So I love that. That's where it ends up to be fixed. So not only will Hannah be chanting Torah for us on this beautiful Shabbat morning, but she'll be chanting from the family Torah scroll, which I don't know, gives me some goosebumps myself. It was securely kept in my office up until now, and we put like 17 pillows around it up on the couch so nothing would happen to it, and we put like tape around. I'm just kidding. We were like no one could go in near it. So I hope that everyone in the room understands the incredible magnitude and the incredible importance of living this Lador Vador idea, this idea of passing on our traditions from generation to generation to generation. So Hannah will be chanting Torah. She'll be chanting 3 sections of Torah, 3 different aliyot. The word aliyah means to ascend, means to come up. So we'll invite people to come up to be near the Torah. They'll be doing the blessings before and after each section of Torah that Hannah will be chanting. Now, the Torah itself, this Torah, like every other Torah in the world, doesn't have any markings for it for punctuation. So there's no periods or commas. There are no markings in it for trope that gives it tune. None of that is in there at all, except Hannah has been practicing, and she is going to be chanting the Torah as if all of that is in there. Isn't that right, Hannah? Yes, I got a nod, so that is good, that is positive. So she will be chanting each section. And then, like I mentioned, we'll be inviting people to join us up on the bima to do the aliyah, the blessings before and after each section of the Torah that will be read. Everyone got all the information? That's a lot of information. All right, good. We're going to continue now, and it is my honor to invite for the first aliyah, Papa Gregory and Grandma Susan Levy, Safta Jill, and Saba Harvey Tekel. Yamdu Gershom v'Shoshana Esther bat Yosef et Zipporah v'Gershol ben Lebel l'Aliyat Torah. If you want to follow along with the blessings, by the way, they are on page 368, if you'd like.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher b'charanu kol hamid, v'natan lanu es Torato. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
ויהי יעקב בארץ מצרים 17 שנה. ויהי ימי יעקב שני היה 7 שנים ו40 שנה. וקרבו ימי ישראל למות והקרב לפנו ליוסף. ויאמר לו הנם מצאתי חן בעיניך, סיני אתה תחת ירחי. ועשית עמדי חסד ואמת, אל נא תקברני במצרים. ושכבתי עם אבותי, ונשאתני ממצרים, וקברתני בקבורתם. ויאמר אנוכי אעשה יברך. ויאמר ישבח לי, וישתבח לו, וישתחו ישראל על ראש המיטה.
Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם תחזקנו. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen.
For the honor of the second Aliyah, Cheryl and Adam Tekel. Ya'amdu Avram ben Elsher v'Esther v'Shlomo Blumat bat Gershon v'Shoshana lalei Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayhi acharei hadvarim ha'elech vayomer le'Yosef hine avicha chole vayikach et shnei vanach emor et Menashe ve'et Ephraim vayigei Yaakov vayomer hine bincha Yosef ba'elecha v'chayitazek Yisrael vayeshev al hamitah Vayomer Yaakov El Yosef El Shaddai Nira Elai Beluz Be'eretz Canaan Vayivarech Oti.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. For the honor of the third Aliyah, our bat mitzvah, Hannah Tekel Ta'amod, Chana Penina bat Avraham v'Shlomit Bluma, ha bat mitzvah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havrach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Elai hineni machercha v'hir beiticha untaticha likal anim v'natati et haaretz hazot lezaracha acharecha achuzat olam ve'ata shnei vanecha chanoladim lecha ve'eretz Mitzrayim ad bo'i elecha Mitzrayim lihem Ephraim uvnasheh Kirovim v'shiyam yihuli umalad becha asher chadolacha acherehem lecha yihiu Hashem achechem yirkaru benahalatam.
Chazak, chazak.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nate b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen.
Chazak,
Yashkoach.
chazak, v'nitchazek.
Since this is the last Torah portion in the book of Genesis, we like to end a book with the words chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, strength, strength, and may we be strengthened. So let's say that together since we just concluded a book of Torah. So let's do that together. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Excellent. Strength, strength, and may we continue to be strengthened together. That was some good Torah reading. It's good stuff right there. We are going to raise and dress the Torah at this time. So it is a pleasure to call upon some people to help us do that. To raise the Torah, we're going to invite Jonathan Levy. And for Galila, we're going to invite Zoe and Zachary. We're on page 370 if you want to follow along in the Sidrim in the prayer books, and together we stand.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה.
Please be seated. We're going to continue to hear a little haftarah now from our bat mitzvah on this fine day. If you want to follow along, by the way, with the haftarah blessings, they're on page 372, if you'd like. If you'd like to follow along with the haftarah itself, and you have a Torah book, if you have a Torah book, then you will follow along with the haftarah. It's on page 323. It's haftarah from 1 Kings. So again, if you want to follow along with the blessings, that's 372. If you want to follow along with the actual words of the haftarah, that's 323 in the Torah book. Hannah, you good? All right, whenever you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'direhem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'vivei ha'emet v'tzedek. Vayikrevu Yemei David Lamut Vayitza Et Shlomo Beno Lemor Anochi Cholech V'derech Chol Haaretz V'chazakta V'hayita Le'is V'shamarta Et Mishmeretz Adonai Elohecha La'lechet B'dracha Lishmor Hukotav Mitzvotav Umishpatav Ve'edotav Kakatuv b'Torat Moshe Laman Teskil 8 Kosher Ta'aseh Ve'et Kosher Tifnei Sham Laman Yakim Adonai Et Devaro Asher Diber Alai Lemor Imishmeru Vanecha Et Darkam La'lechet Lefanai Be'emet Bechol Levavem Uvchol Nafsham Lemor lo yikare lecha yish me'al chisei Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam sor chol ha'olamim sadik bechol chadarot ha'el ha'na'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayim she'echol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanbi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktashav limnucha lecharod utifaretz al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la uvrachim ata yiparach shimcha b'fi cholchai tami le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, yehelanu. Simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, yehelanu. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. David melech Yisrael, ha'evek hayam. David melech Yisrael, ha'evek hayam. Simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, yehelanu.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. What you're about to hear are some incredible words of Torah from our bat mitzvah. You are going to think to yourself after she's done, wow, those were some incredible words from our bat mitzvah. And you are going to want to clap. But we don't clap because we don't applaud because it's not a show. So in lieu of applause, when you hear fabulous words of Torah from our bat mitzvah, we'll ask you to give her a big hand. Want to practice? Want to practice? Nice. She is going to share with us some beautiful words of Torah about the Torah portion. She's going to do so slowly. She is going to do so in a way where she enunciates each word so that we understand all of the words of the Torah she would like to teach us on this fine Shabbat morning. Isn't that right, Hannah? Oh, great. All right. Please, share some Torah with us.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
My
Shalom.
Bat Mitzvah portion is Vayechi, which means, and he lived on. My portion is also about life and the journey of the Jewish people as the book of Genesis ends this Shabbat and we move on to the book of Exodus next week. From strength to strength and from generation to generation and Jewish traditions are a few items of being Jewish that I personally love. Let me explain. In this week's Torah portion, we learn more about Jacob's life, which came to end at the age 147 years old. His son Joseph must carry on Jewish tradition and lead the Jewish people through Egypt into Israel. My portion also speaks about a traditional prayer for parents to bless their children each week. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh for boys, and may God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah for the girls. This is an important tradition in our family and for all Jewish children on Shabbat. Our family tradition goes back many years here at B'nai Israel. My grandma and papa also raised their children here and had both bat and bar mitzvahs, confirmations, my parents' wedding, my brother's bris, and now my bat mitzvah. I am blessed to be reading from this special family Torah that my Zaidi rescued out of Russia. All of my cousins read from this same Torah, and I can feel my Zaidi watching over us all today. When my brother was born, Zaidi, like Joseph, had a journey and determination to meet and bless my little brother at his bris. He couldn't fly, so my Savta and Saba took him in the car and drove him down to be with our family to hold my brother at his bris in this very sanctuary, as the Sandek. This is the Jewish name for the one who holds the baby for the bris. This leads me to from strength to strength and lador vador from generation to generation. These are all very important to me. At every holiday and special meal at our home, we use special dishes from my Granny Hanny, Grandma Doris's Shabbat candles, and we also have a painting in our dining room of the 12 tribes, which came from Bubby and Zadie's home in New Jersey. All of these are very special to me. My mitzvah project was focused on helping Camp Coleman. Shout out to Camp Coleman, an amazing camp that my mother worked at and I have also attended for the past 7 summers. This camp is my home away from home every year that I look forward to going to each summer. It's my happy place and I wanted to raise awareness and some money in our community as I share the importance of this special camp. It is important to me to have camps like you or J. Camp Coleman for many other Jewish kids to go to each summer. I want to thank my family who have traveled here in this crazy pandemic, and my parents, Grandma and Papa, Safta and Saba, my aunts and uncles, and cousins for sharing my bat mitzvah with me today. You are all such an important part of my life and our traditions, and I am so happy you are all here. Mom and Dad, thank you for teaching me the importance of being Jewish and Shabbat every week, and for keeping me active in Jewish camp programs and BBYO. The importance of giving tzedakah and volunteering each year with the temple for those less fortunate. These are strong values which you have taught me. Thank you also, Mom, for making this amazing day happen while you and Dad were busy working. You really made it happen. Mom, thank you for getting every detail done to make this day perfect. I love you both. Thank you, Grandma and Papa. Thank you for always supporting me and for cheering me on at sports and for even driving me up to Camp Coleman to make sure I made it. I love you both, and I want to thank you. Sab and Safta, thank you for making sure Zadie got down here for Ari's bris, which allowed 4 generations of Tekels to be together. Thank you for carefully flying the Tekel Torah down here so I could also carry on the tradition of reading from our family Torah. I want to thank the best little brother, Ari. I love you, and I will always look after you. My entire family all plays such a special role in my life. I also want to thank my tutor, Neil, for teaching me everything I need to learn today, and Rabbi Keller for all your time and support, and Cantor Muchnick. I feel so blessed, and thank you for all of my friends and family locally here from Boca and family from California to New Jersey. Thank you to my Camp Coleman friends for making a special trip to Boca to help me become a bat mitzvah. Also, thank you to all of my school friends for being such an important part of my life. You are always very special to me, and I love you. All Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, a little Camp Coleman shout out. Yeah, Camp Coleman. Again, Camp Coleman hands. Let's see. Camp Coleman hands. Yes, Camp Coleman hands. Yes, yes. Excellent. We have the 2 options, by the way. We have the 2 buses available. One's going to Camp Coleman if you want to go to camp. One's going to Israel. Or you could take the one that's going both ways. It's going to go to camp, and then it's going to swing back to Atlanta and take you to Israel.
So there's a bus going to Israel?
Yeah. It's really cool. It's a magic
a bus.
School bus.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a magic school bus. Write that down. We might make some money if we call something the magic.
It's going to be a long
school
drive.
bus. It's going to be a long drive and a wet one. Because there's water in between the things, the land.
It's a submarine bus.
It's a submarine bus. Think we should talk about it a little bit more, or we should move on with the service? What do you think?
Probably move on with the service.
Okay, we'll do that. Fine, we'll do that. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, friends, we are going to conclude our Torah service now, and that is on page 374 in the brackets, 374 in your prayer books, and together we stand. Be seated. It is our pleasure to invite Sarah Stuerman and Debbie Stein to join us up here on the bima to share with us the prayer for the state of our country. For the prayer for our country. It is on page 376, if you want to follow along. 376 is where we are.
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry, and satisfy the famished creature, then let your light shine in darkness. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have, by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation, and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Now a pleasure to invite Eric Lieberman and Glenn Lieberman to share with us the blessing for the state of Israel. 377, if you want to follow along.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen.
Hannah, if it's okay with you, we're going to have your parents say some stuff to you probably. They probably want to share some, they like you, you know? Yeah. Probably want to share a couple of nice words about you to the congregation, is my guess. Am I right, guys? Yeah, I figured.
Hannah Rose Tekel, take a deep breath. You crushed it. Hannah, I will be speaking today for Daddy and myself because Adam can't speak about Hannah without getting overly emotional. I am here today to tell you what an amazing job you did preparing for this weekend. You started your studies here at B'nai Israel in 2012 and have not stopped going. From your pre-K graduation, consecration in kindergarten, participating in the junior choir, being part of the youth group, volunteering each week as a madrahim to becoming a bat mitzvah today, you have fully embraced yourself into Judaism and B'nai Israel. Many of you know that Adam and I met each other in 1996 on the March of the Living. We got married here at B'nai Israel in 2004, and having a strong Jewish family with love and Jewish values and tradition has always been the foundation to our marriage and family. Thank you to all of our friends and family who came from near and far to celebrate the bat mitzvah of our daughter, Hannah Penina. Hannah, first, I'd like to tell you that we are so proud of you and what you have accomplished. Thank you. Earlier this year, I received a call from Hannah's Hebrew school teacher, Miss Davidson. She called to tell me that Hannah is a very special young lady with a very strong Jewish identity. She said that Hannah has a beautiful heart that we can see by her kind actions towards everyone. She then told me she is a very responsible young lady and sees Hannah as a great future Jewish leader. She is not alone. Over the years, family, friends, counselors, and other teachers have remarked about Hannah's kindness towards others. Nothing makes Daddy and I prouder than to be raising a kind and compassionate daughter. Here are some words that best describe Hannah. Giving. Wherever we go, Hannah is the first person to ask me to contribute money to every store that is collecting for a charity and every homeless person we pass on the street. She enjoys bringing her own money for tzedakah weekly and even raise money for her overnight camp, Coleman. She truly has a huge giving heart. Unique. Hannah's camp friends would definitely agree that Hannah is unique and very funny. Sometimes she can make the most random comments, but that is what makes Hannah so special. Her friends have told me that she is the funniest person they've ever met. There is no label for Hannah. Hannah is Hannah. Kind. No matter who, Hannah is always inclusive. She's the first person to make someone feel included and special. Teachers have reached out to me to tell me they can always count on Hannah. She loves helping out children that are younger than her and always welcomes new kids to her school and in her community. Her students at religious school just love her. Loving. Aside from being a wonderful person and daughter, Hannah is the best big sister to her brother Ari. When Hannah was 3 years old, her preschool teacher told Adam and I what a great sister Hannah would be. It was very important to give Hannah a sibling. Hannah has fully embraced the role as big sister. From sleepovers with Ari to teaching him TikTok dances, babysitting, cooking meals, or teaching him how to swim, bike ride, and dribble, Hannah is an amazing big sister. Hannah is also the best sister and best friend to her golden retriever, Gabby. There are so many compliments that can be said about Hannah. Hannah, like you look exactly like me. Well, it's December 18th, 2021, and life may never be back to normal, but we are optimistic that you will continue to study hard, love, learn, and be the best version of yourself every day as you always strive to be. Here are some tips on life that Daddy and I and all of your grandparents would like you to remember. Number 1, wherever you live, find a Jewish community. This will always give you a sense of community and family. Number 2, always keep your integrity. People can take everything from you, but they can never take away your integrity. Number 3, carpe diem, seize the day. Number 4, take time to know yourself. When you know who you are, you can be wise about your goals, your dreams, your standards, and your convictions. Knowing who you are allows you to live your life with purpose and meaning. Number 5, show kindness to others and share in their joy. Help others achieve their goals. And number 6, stay as sweet as you are. We love you so much and wanted you to have a beautiful bat mitzvah because we know this would be remembered forever as an amazing day. We are so blessed to have you in our lives as our daughter. Mazel tov, Hannah, we love you. Just know in your journey through life, we will always be standing by you, behind you, and rooting you on.
We have a bunch of stuff to give you on behalf of the congregation. Do you want some stuff on behalf of the congregation? All right. What's even better about the stuff is that Sabrina Schwartz, as a member of our board of directors, is going to be coming up here to the bima and sharing with you all of the cool things that we have for you, besides the school bus that flies and is a submarine and is going to Israel and camp at the same time.
Mazel Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Hannah, it's my pleasure and privilege to represent Congregation B'nai Israel's Board of Trustees in wishing you, your parents, and your entire family a hearty Mazel Tov. It is clear that your words of Torah about the importance of family were heartfelt. Your CBI family knows how very hard you worked to make this special day happen, and we're so incredibly proud of your achievement. Today, you were called to the Torah, and you have taken your place as a full member of the Jewish community. This day is only the beginning of your Jewish journey. We hope that you continue in SLJ to further your Jewish identity and build on friendships you have made thus far. In celebration of this momentous occasion, I have a few gifts for you from your CBI family. On behalf of Congregation B'nai Israel's Sisterhood, Okay. On behalf of Congregation B'nai Israel Sisterhood, I present you with this set of candlesticks. When you use this gift, we hope that you will always think of this milestone in your life. In addition, the Brotherhood would like to present to you with this book that has been curated for you as a special memento for you to enjoy for years to come. Lastly, we have this Jewish Bible. From the congregation inscribed with your name. We hope that you use these gifts to further your connection to Judaism and CBI. Again, we wish you and your family a Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sabrina. Got all this stuff for you, huh? That's fun. You want to open anything? Yeah. Open it. I want to see what's there. Let's see what you got. I mean, she said candlesticks, but who knows? I mean, it could be anything. Let's see. Was she right? Yeah, woo! We got it right. Yes, excellent. That's from the Brotherhood. What's it called, though? It's a fun name. The Newish Jewish Encyclopedia. You have to say it with an accent. The Newish Jewish Encyclopedia. It doesn't work if you don't read it with an accent. You have to read it with an accent. And then there's also the certificate for you, right? It's still over a little down there. There you go, your certificate that we signed earlier, your Bar Mitzvah certificate. So all of the goodies on behalf of Congregation B'nai Israel. And then Cantor Muchnick's magic bus that will take you to wherever you need to go. You have nothing to say? Nothing. You got nothing to say about that. That's amazing. I love that. All right. So I do. I have something to say. I always have something to say. So I will say that I feel very lucky and very blessed to be standing up here with you on this day. I was one of the very few people very early on when I first got here invited to your sukkah. I think it was the first time you were putting up your sukkah. I think it was the first you opened up that sukkah and we'd opened it up and we were figuring out even how to last minute put everything together. So we've been very, very lucky. We have an awesome camp connection. Already excited about summer. I can't wait to go up to spend some time there. And I say this almost every week, and this week I think it couldn't connect any better, and that is, I don't think you pick your Torah portion, I think it picks you. I really believe it this week. I mean, I believe it every week. There's some nuance that fits for every bar and bat mitzvah, but this idea of legacy that exists in the Torah portion, this idea that both Jacob and Joseph, all they do in this Torah portion is set up the future so that everyone else can be okay, so that everyone else can be set up, creates this incredible, deep legacy for us. Even though next week, by the way, we go into a whole other sort of whirlwind of going down to Egypt and having slavery, and all, it doesn't make a difference because the thread that was set by Jacob and then Joseph is so strong that even though we have this challenge that begins next week, we come out on the other end stronger because of what they did, because of the framework that they created. And so not just this Torah, this Tekel Torah that's been shared from generation and generation and generation. Not just that, but this idea that not only do you love Camp Coleman, but you love Camp Coleman so much that you would go out of your way to have a fundraiser, to speak to other younger students about how important camp is, so that you can then take that money you raised and put it into a fundraising account at Camp Coleman, so that other people in the future who might not be able to pay will have, you're paving the way. It's a continuous paving the way for the future. Piece after piece after piece. Legacy. You are creating legacy. And now, though, it gets more difficult. Because as a bat mitzvah, all the legacy that's been laid out for you to get to this spot right now where your path starts as an adult becomes your responsibility. Up until now, everyone has been making sure that you got to this moment as a bat mitzvah, planting all those seeds, creating all those legacies. And so you're the one who has to do it. Now you've started already because of what you did for camp and of who you are. We hear all those stories about you're not just the funniest, but the one who's going to go out of their way to do something special, who doesn't walk by anyone who asks for money and says no. So I know that me personally and everyone in this room, we are looking forward to the next step of this Tekel legacy that's going to come from you. What are you going to do to help perpetuate all of the incredible pieces and components and deep Yiddishkeit that's in your family? You know Yiddishkeit? You know what that means? You know the word Yiddish? So like, not the language, but Yiddishkeit is like, it's like Jewiness. It's a word I just invented. It's Jewiness. The Jewiness that's in you, that's set forth in your DNA of who you are, that's the Jewiness that you have to perpetuate to the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And I know you can do it. And I know that these people think that you can do it over here, all these people who are looking at you. See all these people looking at you? Yeah. And I feel lucky. I started with feeling lucky. I want to tell you to be standing here. And I feel lucky, by the way, to be on this path so that I can see and watch you continue to do these incredible things. I'm excited about it. Ken Ramashek's excited about it. Everyone here at Congregation B'nai Israel is excited about it. Your extended family, CBI, all excited about it. If it's okay with you, besides all these other wonderful moments and blessings that we get to share, we'd like to share one more blessing with you. This blessing that was probably said at your baby naming, the priestly blessing, most likely. It's going to be said right here now at the bat mitzvah. God willing, under the chuppah when you get married. Not yet. We're going to have a lot of time for that. Not have your parents pass out at their seats over there or anything. So it's this legacy of a bracha that we get to share with you also. Are you okay if we give you that blessing? You cool with that? All right, good. Well, we're going to do it anyway, whether you liked it or not. But we just want to get your approval for it. Okay, great.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's presence be with you all the days of your life and grant you peace. As together we all say,
Amen.
Amen. We will begin to conclude our service on this Shabbat morning. We will turn to Aleinu, which is, I'll tell you what page that's on in the brackets. It is on page, I'll tell you, it's on page 586 in the brackets, 586, 586, and together we stand.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
We transition now to Kaddish Yatom, to Mourner's Kaddish. Think of those in the period of Shiva. Philip Siegel, that's the 7-day mourning period. In our immediate 30-day mourning period, Shloshim, we think of Mitchell Lubitz and Arlene Portnoy, and our yortzites that occur for us on the Shabbat: Robert Borg, Jacob Bussi, Adolf Edelman, Jack Foster, Lena Franklin, Gustavo Gristel, Samuel Goldberg, Albert Herskowitz, Milton Cantor, Jody Katz, Benjamin Kirshner, Ruth Kozak, Ida Lampert, Frederick Malter, Leo Mayer, Philip Memel, Harry Nagel, Jules Opsertz, Ethel Pitnoff, Blanche Pastilnik, Rosabelle Rosen, Roberts, Shaber, Fanny Schwartz, Irving Siegel, Molly Silverstein, Howard Springer, Jodney Steinberg, Josephine Stern, Frank Stock, Leon Tell, Martha Tell, Philip Weiner, Max Zuckerman. To those names, we add any name that you would like to add at this time. Kaddish Yatom Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitkadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'mei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpara v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, as together we say amen. Please be seated. We are going to conclude our service this Shabbat morning with a little bit of a campiness. There's a little campness going on. So you can get your swaying going and your cheering going a little bit as we conclude our service this morning. Ready? Cantor?
Yes.
I'm excited. All right, here we go.
Heveinu shalom aleichem, aleichem heveinu shalom. Heveinu shalom aleichem, aleichem heveinu shalom. Hinei matol u'manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matol u'manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matenu aleichem, aleichem heveinu shalom. Heveinu shalom aleichem, aleichem heveinu shalom. Hinei matol u'manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matol u'manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Last time, Heveinu shalom aleichem, aleichem heveinu, aleichem heveinu, aleichem heveinu shalom.
Adonai oz lamo yiten, Adonai varech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto our people. Continue to bless us with hope and strength and love and peace. Shabbat shalom and mazel tov.